In the opening scene, we see Samira, who lives near New York City, is getting cancer treatment at a hospice. She doesn't have much time left, so she feels quite down. Her cat, Frodo, is her main source of comfort. During group therapy sessions, Samira shares her poetry, which often show her deep feelings of dislike. Even so, care worker Ruben keeps supporting her and asks her to join other patients on a trip to the city to see a puppet show. Samira agrees to go, but she makes sure they will go for pizza shop after the show is over. So Samira puts on her medicine patch and leashes her cat, Frodo. She gets on the bus with the group. As the bus crosses the bridge, she observes several jets flying overhead. When they get to the theater, she likes the play at first, but when it becomes sad, she feels very emotional and decides to leave. While heading to a store to purchase some candy, she notices a fleet of police cars speeding by. Afterward, Samira looks for Ruben, who is on an important phone call that suddenly gets cut off because of bad signal. Ruben tells Samira that the group has to go back because something is happening in the city. Samira gets upset because this means they won't be able to have pizza as they had planned. When Ruben says he wants to be a good friend, Samira sharply tells him that he's just her nurse before getting on the bus. As she sits down, she sees the other patients at the back, looking out the windows. Samira also goes to look and is shocked to see meteors falling from the sky. One meteor lands close to the bus, causing a huge explosion that knocks everyone down. Although his legs were wobbly, Samira stands up in the wrecked bus and steps outside, finding the area covered in thick dust. As Samira moves around, she sees injured people walking by. Suddenly, she hears a loud roar and sees a man being dragged away by his feet. Panicking, Samira runs and encounters a soldier who tells her to hide, but he is quickly taken away too. Seeing this, Samira quickly takes cover behind a car alongside another individual and watches in fear as a scary creature emerges, revealing that the meteor shower was, in fact, an alien invasion. When a man distracts the monster, Samira seizes the opportunity to flee once more. However, just as she begins to run, an ambulance arrives on the scene and gets attacked by the creature. After another explosion, Samira is knocked out when she's thrown against a wall. After a while, she wakes up inside a building, where Henri quickly covers her mouth as she coughs and tells her to stay quiet. Looking around, Samira sees she's in the theater, which is now a shelter for many injured people. In the middle of all the chaos, Samira feels relieved to find Ruben and her cat, Frodo. After that, a helicopter flies over, telling people to stay hidden and quiet. It's clear that the creatures are attracted to noise, and they start chasing the helicopter, making the entire building to tremble. Scared by the noise, Frodo runs away, and Samira chases after him. While running, she comes across many dead bodies. Passing by, she accidentally steps on some debris, making a crunching sound that makes her freeze in fear. When Ruben catches up to her, they both see an alien outside and decide to stay still until it leaves. Unfortunately, Samira accidentally touches a bell on a nearby costume, causing it to ring. So Samira quickly grabs her cat and hides behind a piece of furniture as the alien bursts in. At one point, the creature gets very close to Ruben's face but doesn't see him, confirming that the aliens are indeed blind. Just then, the helicopter flies by once more, making the alien run out of the building to chase it. Despite all the noise and chaos, Ruben and Samira stay still until things settle down. Afterward, Samira washes her face and takes off her used medicine patch. She then checks on a woman who is using a radio to receive updates from the authorities. The broadcasts indicate that a shelter has been set up, and people are advised to wait for further instructions. Suddenly, the survivors hear explosions and run to the roof, where they are shocked to see the military destroying the bridges to stop the aliens from escaping, since the aliens can't swim. The group watches in horror as the bridges fall one by one. In the chaos, one survivor panics and says they are trapped and doomed. So Henri tries to calm him down, but the man resists, leading to a struggle during which Henri accidentally strikes the man's head against the wall, resulting in his death. Later, while waiting to be rescued, Samira writes a note to Ruben saying she wants to go to Harlem for pizza. Ruben tries to convince her to stay, but their talk is cut short when the power goes out and the generator starts, makes a lot of noise. In a desperate bid to silence it, Ruben rushes outside and quickly turns off the generator. However, as he steps away, his clothes get caught and tear, making more noise. Suddenly, an alien jumps out and attacks Ruben, killing him while Samira covers her mouth to keep from screaming. At sunrise, Samira takes Frodo and heads to Harlem. Along the way, she sees a lot of destruction in the city. After getting supplies from a nearby store, Samira sits near a fountain. She uses the sound of flowing water as cover. Carefully, she opens a can of food and feeds her cat, Frodo. Then she sees 2 children hiding under the fountain, so she kindly gives them some snacks too. Just then, helicopters return and announce that boat evacuations are starting at the South Seaport. Sadly, the noise attracts the alien creatures, making them climb buildings to attack. Samira quickly leads the children into a nearby tunnel, where they watch the aliens wreak havoc in the streets, causing shaking and debris to fall down. When things seem safe, Samira tries to come out, but she finds her way blocked by a fallen building section. As Samira pulled back, the alien stops briefly to look around. Not hearing anything, it leaves. After that, they comes out of hiding and sees other survivors heading to the port. While Samira tells the children to follow the crowd, but she goes in the opposite direction. The loud footsteps attract the aliens, and they quickly come down from the buildings to attack the survivors. Panic ensues as the creatures throw a car, causing explosion that knocks Samira to the ground. In the chaos, her cat, Frodo, breaks free from her grasp and flees in fear. Even though Samira wants to follow Frodo, but the chaotic crowd prevents her from doing so, and she starts crawling on the ground to protect herself from the chaos, and when she spots an opportunity, she crawls under a nearby car to hide. Suddenly, a man grabs her legs and pleads for help, but an alien takes him away. After that, Samira crawls out from under the car, determined to find her cat. Eventually, she's so tired and hurt that she collapses in an alley. While this is happening, Frodo is running after a rat and then stops to drink water in a flooded subway station. And suddenly, Eric appears from the water, looking terrified. But when he sees Frodo, he calms down and follows the cat until they find Samira. She tells Eric to join the crowd, but he decides to follow her and Frodo instead. When the rain starts, Samira and Eric introduce themselves. Samira tells Eric about the boats available for evacuation, and he honestly admits his fear of dying alone. So, in a kind gesture, Samira lets him join her. At night, Samira and Eric reach her apartment. Since she can't find her key, Eric forcefully opens the door when thunder masks the noise. While Samira looks for her medication, Eric reveals that he's studying law here, far from his family in England. And Samira tells Eric her plan to get pizza. He promises to help her despite any objections. While exploring her apartment, Eric finds a photo of Samira's late father, a pianist, and her notebook filled with poetry. As he reads her heartfelt words, Eric realizes that Samira is terminally ill, and she remains behind to fulfill her final wish. During another thunderclap, Samira screams out of frustration, and Eric joins her. The next day, Samira thinks she sees a shadowy figure at the window, but it turns out to be just a dream. Seeing that Eric is still asleep, she and Frodo leave quietly without waking him. Afterward, Samira stops at a bookshop that has been ravaged by the attack, providing an opportunity for Eric to catch up with her. He returns her poetry notebook, and seeing this, Samira allows him to come along. As Samira gets up, she accidentally drops several books, causing a noise. The sound alerts them to the approaching aliens, so they flee and seek refuge inside a nearby building. Unfortunately, a briefcase causes the door to get stuck, and Eric has to use extra force to open it, resulting in another noise. This noise attracts an alien that was right behind them. The two of them rush through the building's corridors as the alien pursues them, emitting high-pitched calls that summon its fellow creatures who leap through the glass ceiling. After an extensive search, Eric, Samira, and Frodo successfully exit the building and return to the city streets. As they are running, Eric strategically shatters a car window, activating the alarm system and diverting the alien's focus toward the vehicle. As a result, the group seizes this opportunity and flee into subway tunnel. Down there, the group carefully moves through the underground area, avoiding dead bodies and the blood. They stay alert and spot an alien on the escalator. Luckily, the alien doesn't notice them, so they quietly back away and hide near the flooded subway tracks. While moving through the water, they see another alien in a hole in the ceiling, but it doesn't react. A bit later, they reach a deeper part of the water, causing Eric to panic because he almost drowned once. As the aliens got closer, Samira quickly covered Eric's mouth to keep him quiet. Unfortunately, one of the aliens noticed them, so they had to move fast while making sure Frodo stayed above water. Even though they tried hard, the alien got too close, so they put Frodo in Samira's bag and jumped into the water to swim away. The alien tries to chase them underwater, but can't swim and ends up drowning. After swimming for a while, Eric and Samira comes back to the surface, and Frodo runs away while Eric helps Samira get out of the water. They climb up through a hole in the ceiling and come out into a church, where Samira then faints. After a while, Samira wakes up, and Eric sees that she's in a lot of pain. He asks her what medicine she needs. After that, Eric goes to the pharmacy. While carefully looking for the medicine, he gets scared by a sudden noise, which he finds out is Frodo. Once he gets the medicine, Eric starts heading back, but Frodo walks into a construction site, leaving Eric with no choice but to follow him. Eric carefully moves through the area and sees that it's on fire, but Frodo doesn't seem bothered. Just then, an alien shows up, so Eric hides quickly. But Frodo is still out in the open on a metal beam. Eric begins to climb up, trying to stay calm as he hears the aliens screech, calling its creepy friends to come eat. As Eric gets closer to Frodo, an alien comes very close, making him stop and wait until it leaves without noticing him. A little while later, Eric and Frodo go back to the church and give Samira the medicine. As she starts to feel better, Samira tells a story from her childhood about how much she loved watching her dad play the piano at a jazz club. And when the show was over, he would always take her to Patsy's for pizza. But after some time, he died due to cancer, just like she is now. Understanding her final wish, Eric promises to get her the pizza she wants. The next day, they leave the church and go straight to Patsy's Pizza, but they find it burned down. Overwhelmed with grief, Samira is so upset that she falls to her knees, crying. Eric quickly moves to console her and asks about the jazz club. A few minutes later, they arrive to the jazz club, where Samira charges her iPod and looks at her father's piano again. And Eric goes out to find a pizza place, and when he comes back, he surprises Samira with real pizza. They take some time to eat and drink, and even Frodo grabs a slice. Additionally, Eric also finds a deck of cards and does a magic trick to entertain Samira, which she really enjoys. After that, they go to the balcony and see a boat getting ready to leave the port. Upon reaching the port, they carefully move to avoid being seen and hide behind a burned car to watch the aliens from a distance. Seeing aliens, Eric almost has another panic attack, but Samira helps him stay calm. Then, Samira gives Frodo to Eric and tells him to run before she comes out of hiding. As Samira runs around, she hits several cars to set off their alarms, making the aliens focus on her. She gets weaker and slower with each second. Meanwhile, on the boat, Henri sees the chaos and urgently asks the authorities to wait for another survivor. Seeing a chance, Eric runs away with Frodo, but they accidentally collide into some trash can, making a noise that gets the aliens' attention. As the aliens quickly get closer and almost catch him at the pier, Eric makes a desperate leap into the water, where the aliens are unable to pursue him. After exchanging one last emotional look with Samira, Eric swims to the boat, where the survivors quickly help him and Frodo get on board. When he finally gets a chance to rest, Eric finds a note in Samira's jacket. In the note, she asks him to take care of Frodo and expresses her gratitude for everything. Meanwhile, back on land, Samira, while listening to Nina Simone's Feeling Good on her iPod, she stands in the middle of the street. Then, she unplugs the earphones, letting the music play out loud, which attracts an alien that shows up behind her.